to Comic Culture, the only show that wishes Luke Cage would wear his yellow shirt more than his yellow hoodie. I'm your host, Preston, and I just finished Luke Cage Season 2. Yeah, I didn't binge watch it in a night. I like to take television slowly, enjoy the content, expand it. That's how I roll. But I just finished it, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed most of the Netflix shows. I even enjoyed The Defenders. I know it got a lot of hate, and I do understand it was kind of boring, but I enjoyed Defenders. Not my favorite, but I liked it better than some shows. Iron Fist. I mean, Inhumans. I mean, anything with Scott Buck's name attached to it. I mean, let's get back to the main point. So today we're going to be reviewing Luke Cage Season 2. This is going to be a quick review because I mainly want to get on to my predictions for Season 3. And one other thing, I do know that it's a little darker than some of the other episodes. That's because this is Comic Culture by Netflix. Everything's darker here. And also, I'm wearing this yellow shirt in honor of Luke Cage, and the yellow is really reflecting off the light, and it becomes really blinding. This is the best lighting I can get at the moment. It's gonna have to do. So please bear with me as we move on to the review of Luke Cage Season 2. Warning, this review and the predictions will have spoilers, so if you haven't seen Luke Cage Season 2, you should go ahead and do that. If you're on the fence of whether or not you should see it, here's a little non-spoiler summary. You should check it out if you finished Season 1, just because Season 2, I feel, is much better. It's a much stronger show, and it's much more focused, and it doesn't drag as much as Season 1 did. So if you got through Season 1 and felt it could be better, definitely check out Season 2. With that out of the way, let's move on to the spoiler parts. So where are we? Luke Cage Season 2 follows Luke after the Defenders and Season 1. He has become a famous hero, the Hero of Harlem, the bulletproof black man. And with that fame comes a lot of challenges, many of them being old foes like Shades and Black Mariah, and new foes like Bushmaster. I gotta admit, the villains of this season were, it's really, I don't want to say they were better than last, just because Cottonmouth was really good, and Black Mariah, she's transitioning from Season 1 to Season 2, and I will say, though, she is a much better villain in Season 2 than she is in Season 1. But let's focus on the story. So the story is Luke trying to become this hero of Harlem that he feels that he isn't. Well, I don't want to say he isn't. He's trying to expand that role, actually live up to the name as the Hero of Harlem, but there's so many ways that can go wrong. You gotta protect the people, you gotta protect the city, you can't be everywhere at once. All these new issues arise, and he also has to deal with being a pseudo-celebrity in New York, which I like just because superheroes exist in the Marvel Universe, like Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, but they're just such rare sightings. In the deleted scene for the Avengers, people actually eat at this cafe, hoping to get a glimpse of Iron Man flying by to his New York house. But it makes sense that everyone's so infatuated with Luke Cage because he is one of the people. He's not going to be overseas fighting Hydra. He's going to be in New York with the people, for the people, and that's why he's become such a big celebrity. And they're even selling merchandise of him, such as t-shirts and such. And by the way, whatever convention I go to next time, it better have one of those Luke Cage t-shirts. I don't care if it's the one that just says Luke Cage or Sweet Xmas. I want one, and I'm going to get one for my next Netflix review, obviously, so I don't have to wear this striped yellow shirt. Anyway, so Luke's story is much better, I feel, than last year's, because last time it was just, I think it was just him trying to decide if he is going to be a hero or not, and we've seen that done before. This time, he is a hero. He's now trying to deal with the repercussions of the fame and wantedness that comes with it. So that was really cool. Also, we also get more, I want to say, more fun action scenes. That's really hard to say because of all the Netflix shows. Luke Cage's doesn't exactly have the best action just because he's bulletproof and invulnerable, so you think that'd be a little boring, but no! This time it's actually interesting. He mixes it up, and he's not afraid to show off the bulletproof part of being Luke Cage. Also, the addition of Bushmaster as a villain, a man who takes Nightshade so he can have the same physical strength as Luke Cage, was really interesting, and we got some cool power fights between the two, and you really didn't know who's going to win it this time. It's going to be Luke, going to be Bushmaster. They had a really fun dynamic on the show because it was this whole, I don't know if they respected each other, but there were times they would team up with each other, and it's like, okay, this is pretty cool. This isn't a whole, like, we gotta find Bushmaster and stop him. It's like, sometimes we gotta stop Bushmaster, sometimes we gotta try to convince him not to be Bushmaster. So, that was also interesting. Also, I like that he wasn't just, angry Jamaican man. He had a reason, he had a plan, and he was more than just uber tough. He had the style to go with his power, with his whole snake motif. I know he didn't have a snake motif, but the way he just crawled on the ground and moved and fought people like this made me think of him as a snake. So we had strong villains, a stronger story. What could be the downfall? There were just some bumps that, like, this isn't going to come to a surprise because this is what all the Netflix Marvel superhero shows suffer from. It's pacing. I think it was episode 10 or 11 or 9. One of the, like, near that area, that would have been, like, the perfect ending for the show. Maybe not the perfect ending, but the perfect time to end the show. Which is why I feel that maybe Netflix should go into not doing these season-long storylines. Maybe make it an overarching storyline, but I'd like it more if we got to see things like, remember back in Jessica Jones, season 1, where she was trying to solve the mystery of, like, this woman's husband was missing, or he keeps leaving her, and something like that, but really it was just a ploy, just to get her in a warehouse so they could try to kill her, because her family died from the Avengers. Long story, I'm making it even longer. Point is, I like that because it was a nice distraction from the main Purple Man main plot that the show was focusing on, because we got to see more of Jessica being herself. I would have liked to see more of that with Luke Cage. Maybe just like him, there's going to be this drug deal going down. It does have to do with Bushmaster, does have to do with Black Mariah, it's just something completely different, and we get to see him being Luke Cage, being that hero for hire. In fact, we actually got to see a little bit of that with this character, Piranha. I loved Piranha. He was an awesome addition to the cast. I'm really sad that he had to go. But we got a little bit of that hero for hire thing, and I really hope that next season we get to see more of that, I don't know how to explain it, the funk of Luke Cage, because he was very reserved about being the hero for hire, but I really want to see him be kind of like how Bobby Fish said. He's got to go in there and say, I ain't no hero, pay me. He's got to be that kind of Luke Cage. I'm hoping we're going to see in Season 3, or maybe Season 2 of Defenders. There is an interest in Defenders Season 2, so don't say it's over. Anyway, we're going to cut this review a little short because I want to move on to my theories for Season 3. So, the pacing was a little off, and I felt that some of the stuff felt incomplete because Bushmaster gets away back to Jamaica and Black Mariah dies. Her story was wonderful. I kind of had some issue with all the focus on Black Mariah and Shades just because the show was called Luke Cage. How about we put a little focus on Luke Cage? But still, their storyline was well done, and she had a great ending. I really liked her arc more than I did last season, and I'm really sad to see her go. But it got us a great setup for I don't want to say as good as a villain, but a really great setup for a powerful villain in Nightshade, Tilda Johnson, her daughter. So, overall, I don't know if I'm going to give these a scores. I highly recommend you see Luke Cage Season 2. Much better than Season 1. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's move on to the predictions. So, Season 2 ends with Luke taking over Harlem's paradise in a power play by Black Mariah from Beyond the Grave, with her thinking that with him running Harlem's paradise, he'll be corrupted and he won't be the hero of Harlem as he thinks he is. And I gotta admit, I'm a little surprised because he had this line about saying, I'm gonna burn it all down. I thought, yeah, he's gonna destroy Harlem's paradise. But no, he gets this suit, and when he puts the suit on, it kind of reminds me of when he had this power suit. Not a power suit, like just this really rich jerk suit he had back in Axis. That was the storyline. That was a storyline where all the superheroes and supervillains had their personalities inversed, so Luke Cage became this rich socialite jerk, and I kind of feel like maybe that's what they were trying to make us feel, trying to homage, if you will. And plus, he even turns down a visit from his girlfriend, Claire Temple, and they have an ending scene with him and Misty that's almost shot for shot the ending of the first Godfather movie, which is basically Michael accepting the fact that he is the new Godfather and all the sins that come with it. Is that the same thing they're trying to do here by trying to tell us that Luke Cage is basically going to go down a darker path? I hope that's not the case. So, Luke now runs Harlem's Paradise, Bushmaster's back in Jamaica, Black Mariah's dead, Shades is in jail, and her daughter, Tilda, aka Nightshade, is in Harlem's Paradise, and we don't really know what she's doing. So, what do I think is going to be done for Season 3? So, for Season 3, I know this is going to sound weird. I hope we see Diamondback. I know that sounds weird because a lot of people had an issue with Diamondback and his goofiness. Maybe it's because I am a fan of goofy comic books that I was okay with this edition, but I will say it was a little jarring, his goofy, over-the-top supervillain motif right in this, down-to-earth, serious, hard look at racism in a Netflix show. But still, he's still out there. And if you remember at the end of Season 1, the doctor that gave Luke Cage his powers was about to operate him. So I was really thinking that maybe at the end of Episode 9 of this season, they would defeat Bushmaster and Black Mariah would be gone to the wind again, and the remaining 3 episodes would focus on Diamondback back in town, and Iron Fist is coming in. He's here to help take him down. I thought that would have been a cool use of Iron Fist. I love what they did with Iron Fist in the show, and I hope that's a taste of what his Season 2 is going to be like. Point is, I would have liked to see Diamondback again. So I think that maybe for Season 3, Luke is going to be running Harlem's Paradise, and he is basically, I don't want to say he's going to be like the kingpin, but just basically this big player in the Harlem underworld. But instead of dealing in crime, he's diluting it to other parts of New York City. And maybe he's going to reason it with himself, saying like, hey, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I'm protecting Harlem, and Jessica and Danny, they'll protect the other parts of New York. Plus, I hear there's this new guy, the Punisher, who kills, criminals. So I'll send the criminals to them, and they'll deal with them. Like, he's gonna have that kind of mindset. I'm also hoping by the time Luke Cage Season 3 comes about, Daredevil's back in town, so everyone knows, oh hey, Matt Murdock's alive and well, hallelujah. So maybe he gets a little name drop too. Like, oh, when I found out Matt was back in town as the Daredevil, then I knew I could definitely send some people down to the kitchen and he'd whoop their butts. So maybe that's going to be the state of mind he's in. I'm protecting Harlem by keeping crime out of Harlem. But then his whole empire or his business method is going to go down in flames when he gets ghosts of the past after him. And I'm thinking that's going to be Nightshade, Diamondback, and Shades, and the way this is gonna work is maybe Nightshade, she's gonna be like the mage of the group or the person who brings them all together. If not, maybe she'll start to experiment in taking Nightshade herself so she can get Bushmaster's powers. Also, Bushmaster, let's throw him in there. Why is he in there too? We'll get to that later. So Nightshade, she has her powers from either the plant roots or by taking them herself. Diamondback, the experiment was a success, and he too has Luke Cage powers, so he can go toe-to-toe with his own brother. Shades is arrested, so I'm really hoping that maybe the doctor who's experimenting on Diamondback also begins to experiment on him. Remember back in this season, Camachi even said, if I or you, Shades, were in that experiment, we could have gotten bulletproof skin, probably. Well, maybe he does go through an experiment, but instead of getting bulletproof skin, he gets laser eyes. The thing he has in the comic books. Yes, Shades has powers in the comic books. I'm hoping they get to incorporate that into the Netflix show somehow. So he could be able to just blast Luke Cage from afar. That way he could be part of this Luke Cage revenge squad, if you will. Bushmaster, he's going to be coming back from Jamaica either to take back Harlem or to kill Luke Cage, or most likely He's there to take down Nightshade because she is still Stokes, and he wants to get rid of all the Stokes family members, and he sees her as this new character, Nightshade. Oh, she's going down the same path as her mother. I gotta put a stop to this. And that way, we could get all the active Luke Cage villains out there, and Luke can take them all down. So, they're gonna all form a team, if you will, like a Sinister Six kind of team, and take down Luke Cage, and he realizes this whole being like the criminals to deal with the criminals thing isn't going to work. He's got to be a true hero this time. Or maybe he's going to actually think, okay, being the hero of Harlem didn't work. Being this guy who did things under the table for money didn't work either. Maybe I should bridge the two together and start my business. Heroes for hire. That way, he's not associated with being this, like, goody two-shoes hero. He's not being associated with this hardened criminal underworld man. He brings the positives of both without the negative. That way, he could deal with all these criminals and be... I don't know how it's going to work. That's just my prediction. And also kind of like my wish list. Bring all the past Luke Cage villains who are still alive back together to try to take down the main man himself. Plus, you know... I don't know if I like Luke Cage at the end where he just turned away poor Claire Temple. What the heck was that about? Come on, Luke, you gotta be better than that. Remember what your daddy taught you. Also, with the sad passing of Luke Cage's father's actor passing away, and they even said it at the end of the season, I kind of feel maybe that either going to retire the character or more likely kill Luke's father off screen. And maybe with his father's death, he's going to realize he's got to be the man his father wanted him to be. He's got to be a hero. Thank you for watching my review of Luke Cage Season 2 and my predictions for Season 3. I hope you enjoyed it. What are your predictions for the next season? And what upcoming Marvel Netflix show are you looking forward to? I know I can't wait to see old Hornhead himself. So please, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more comic book goodness and a lot of lists coming up, because I love lists. This is Preston saying thanks for watching Comic Culture, and I'll see you on the next issue. Sweet Christmas. Come on. It gotta have one.